So last week, HBO Max dropped Tom and Jerry on us. So going into this movie, I was going into it just excited to see a new movie. I never really grew up with Tom and Jerry. I'd see the odd episode if it was playing on Boomerang before, say, Scooby-Doo or something else. But I never really sat down and watched Tom and Jerry. Just the concept, the characters and everything, they never really interested me, so I never really watched them much. But I was actually excited for the movie just because it's Tom and Jerry. It's kind of one of those characters that you just know. So I said, okay, I'll give it a watch. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what it comes out with. And the trailer itself, I thought was decent. The trailer sets up something like at the start of the trailer where Tom and Jerry have been enemies for years, but they decide to part their own ways, which actually isn't even part of the movie. So I kind of thought that was a bit odd. But the way the trailer set it up really intrigued me for the movie. But this movie is not a Tom and Jerry movie. This movie is about a wedding. It's not about Tom and Jerry whatsoever. I watched this movie with my 5-year-old brother, who, whenever Tom and Jerry were on screen, really enjoyed the movie. He thought it was funny, he was laughing aloud, really enjoyed it. Whenever one of the human characters came up, or the Tom and Jerry were in the background and it was just the human characters, because of course Tom and Jerry can't talk, so they gotta have a story, so the human characters are talking about whatever they're talking about, he lost interest straight away. And this is their target demographic, and if the target demographic couldn't enjoy it, what does that say? The human characters in this movie are all just boring. Boring is the best way of describing them. Chloe Grace Moretz, who I actually don't mind as an actress, she's our main character in this movie, and she's extremely unlikable. Her character story is something that, if this is a movie for kids, and if this is a message they're sending to kids, doesn't really send a good message. Her character lies and cheats her way into a job at the start, taking someone's dream job away from them just so she can get ahead. And if that's a message they're sending towards kids, it's not really a great message to be sending towards kids. As well, Michael Pena's character, Michael Pena is just, he's a likable guy. No matter what he's in, if it's Fantasy Island last year or it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, he's just a likable guy. And I like him. I just like the actor. But in this movie, I just thought he was just bland. He was just, even though I like him, he was just unlikable in this movie. This way you got the wedding storyline, which is the story of the movie. It's not a Tom and Jerry movie. The wedding storyline is just so dull. They spent way too much time on it. I didn't give a crap about the first time they started talking about it. I didn't give a crap about the 50th time they started talking about it. On a positive note, I liked the design of Tom and Jerry. I liked the way they just took the original design and implemented it throughout the entirety of the movie. My big fear going into this was the fact that they looked like that. Were they just going to have like ordinary birds or ordinary fishes, or the dog from the TV series? Were they just going to have an actual dog in there? But no, I was pleasantly surprised. All the animals in this movie are animated, so it worked out well. That was my fear going into it. Were they going to be live action animals and it looked really weird? But luckily they kept the character design of the animated and kept them for the entirety of all the animals, so at least that looked normal. Tom and Jerry, as I said, don't actually talk in this movie. One of the fears as well, I was going to go into it and just imagine, just off the top of my head, Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson voicing Tom and Jerry just because they want to get some big names in it. But no, luckily Tom and Jerry don't talk, which kind of caused a problem because it is an hour and 40-minute movie, which really, God, that is way too long. It did not need to be an hour and 40 minutes long. But anyways, I thought they were going to have to give them voices so they can talk, which really glad they did not give them. So they kept them mute the way they are in the animated show, but because they're mute, they kind of have to have the human characters in there, which do bog the movie down because you don't give a crap about them. You just want to see Tom and Jerry, but you don't get to see Tom and Jerry. This is my least favorite movie of the year. I've seen 4 movies as of right now. At first, it was Penguin Bloom, my least favorite, but Tom and Jerry has just come in and taken it. I went in with low expectations. I wasn't really expecting much, and I came out with my expectations being even lower. There were so many points throughout this movie that I just wanted to turn it off because it was just so dull, so forgettable, and just such a boring slog of a movie. I wouldn't even say I'm glad I've seen it. I kind of wish I didn't see it and just went off the reviews of people saying it's bad and didn't even bother watching it, because this movie was a hard movie to watch. I am never going to watch it again. Even my 5-year-old brother has no ambition of watching it again because he's never asked for it once. So you can tell he has no ambition to watching it again. This movie is never probably going to be played in my house again. I am never picking up the Blu-ray, and I'm going to, if anyone asks me about Tom and Jerry, I'm going to say straight up, do not watch it. It's a complete crap show of a movie. But that's just my opinion on Tom and Jerry. Make sure you let me know your opinion on the 2021 Tom and Jerry movie in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you want to see more content from me in the future, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.